back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about kitchen storage and organization because ever since I have decluttered my entire house, I've been able to see exactly what I have and organize things a lot better, and I just love the way that it turned out. So let's get started. So this is our kitchen, and I absolutely love how clean and fresh it looks most often, and that is because I keep the majority of our stuff off the counters and I keep them inside of the drawers or other places. So here are some tips to make sure that your house and your kitchen looks nice and organized, and that is to keep anything that's not necessary off the counters. That includes spices or oils. You can keep them inside of a different drawer. I like to keep them here, and then every single day when I cook, I'll just go inside, grab these, cook, and then put them back in there because it keeps things off the counters. And I keep my decor to a minimum, and I use things that are both functional as well. So that way I can store and it also looks nice and pretty. So that also includes your appliances like your blender, toaster. I keep it up here. And let me tell you, I used to have a kitchen that was a fourth of this size, and it was still able to maintain all the appliances off the counters. If you declutter, no matter what size kitchen, you can keep things off the counter. Now let's talk about the storage and organization underneath this kitchen sink, which I just use different bins or baskets to be able to organize all of the supplies that I need for cleaning. That way nothing spills over or falls over and looks messy. It just keeps everything nice and compact, and it looks a lot more organized. Over on this side, underneath these cabinets, I have my pots and pans. After decluttering, I only kept the ones that I absolutely needed, and some of them are a little beat up, so don't make fun of my pans because I cook pretty often. But if you don't have one of these lid organizers, you need to go get one. I found this one at Target. It was quite inexpensive, and then I also found this one over here to keep all of my pans. It's so easy just to go in there and grab it and not have to like dig through all of your pots and pans and make so much noise, especially when people are sleeping and you don't want to make a lot of noise. So I really do like both of those. The other one I believe I found either at Walmart or the store called At Home, and then I kept my longer ones on top of here. Now inside of our cabinets, sometimes it can look a little bit messy, and even though I have decluttered and gotten rid of things that are expired or I no longer need or want, there was still just a lot of chaos for me. I felt like I couldn't find the spices that I needed when I needed to cook. I didn't know what I have, and that's how clutter starts accumulating when you can't see things clearly. So I decided to make it a little bit prettier and also organize it at the same time. So I found these canisters at Home Goods, and I wanted to put some of the things that I use on a daily basis. This one was only $5. It was on clearance, so it wasn't too bad. I didn't want to spend too much on organizing this, but I did want it to look nice and pretty. So I wanted it to be functional and also pretty at the same time. So I just put in like things that I use on a daily basis or like a weekly basis, which is like the chile that I like to buy to make my salsas. I often make a lot of Mexican dishes, and so it includes some spiciness to it. And then I took the chili peppers out of this container because I wanted to use it for something else in a different area. So I just put in the other chiles in here, and it fit perfectly. It looks so cute inside of your cabinet. It brings some color and it looks a little bit more cohesive, so it's more aesthetically pleasing, and so it's just a lot more fun. I also transferred the rice that I use to this canister just because the other one was looking a little bit dingy and stained, and I just want it to look pretty. There's nothing wrong with that, to making your things look nice and pretty, especially if you use them on a daily basis. So it was hard for me to have my cans up here. As you can tell, there's one in that right corner that I didn't even know that was there, so I wanted to get them out of there. I'll show you guys later on where I stored them. For my spices, they looked a little bit cluttered and I could never find the right spice. So what I did is I bought this little label maker. It was so inexpensive. It was only $12 at Target, and I took off all of the labels off these spices with literally just like one rip, and then I included the name of the spice, and it made it look so pretty. I never noticed how much time I spent trying to look for specific spices, but now that they were all labeled and easy to read, I'm able to find them a lot quicker, and it makes cooking a lot more enjoyable because, as you guys know, I don't enjoy cooking, so this made it a lot more appealing. So now it's time to tackle this pantry. I feel like it looks cluttered, but it's not. Everything is categorized with its category, but it just looks bad. And so I decided to get everything out of its container and put them in these right here. That way I can tell what I have and how much amount of what I have, and it just organizes them a lot better. I found them at IKEA and I bought, I believe in total of them, 6 or 7, and then I used some other bins that I also bought from IKEA. But I took everything out of its package and made sure to categorize things, like all the snacks are in one spot, all of the cans were in another. So each drawer had its own category, and then these bins allowed me to separate things. I even found a spot for all of the chip clips that I have, and I put them in its own little container. So as you can tell, it just looks so much better. Nothing is rumbling back and forth. I'm not like digging through things to find others, and everything is very compact, and it allows me to have a lot more space to store things better, and I could easily see everything that I have. Nothing is being crushed, and including my cans. I like the setup. I think I can find something better, but for right now this totally works because I could see everything that I have. Our kitchen has another pantry on the side of the kitchen, and this is where I like to store things that are not necessarily food related, but stuff for the house. And so I have everything organized, and it just looks so nice. It doesn't look overly cluttered, but things are in containers. One of the things that I like to store in here are things like Band-Aids, a thermometer, stuff for the cold and flu, and cough drops, and I use a label maker to label the bins and categorize things differently. I also found these baskets at Home Goods. You can find them pretty much anywhere, and I think at Home Goods has them for a decent price, but I was able to store other things that I don't want to be seen. And then I found these little canisters at the store called At Home, and I transferred all of my dog's foods in these 2 containers. Coco and Ginger have different foods. She has prescribed food that's specific for bladder stones, and then Coco just has regular food, but she can't eat his and he can't eat hers. And I noticed how these containers just make it a lot easier to feed them because you don't have to lug out that huge bag of dog food, and it's really pretty as well. And then we keep their canned food in this other little basket that I found at Home Goods as well. For our extra toilet paper or napkins, I like to use this storage bin. I also found it at Home Goods, and it's just so pretty. I love Paris. It's my favorite city, and I wanted a little bit of it in the kitchen since it is like farm style, modern. I don't even know what to call this kitchen anymore, the style of the kitchen, but it fits my taste. So inside of my drawers, I thought I had things organized. I got rid of a few more things that I don't need. And then it's funny because I used a shelf liner with one from the dollar store, but it wasn't long enough to be able to cover the whole cabinet. So I went out and bought this one. It's a little bit more colorful, but also it's big enough to cover more than just one drawer. And all I did was I measured it, cut it out to its size, cut multiple because I needed them in different drawers, so that way things don't go flying every single time I open a drawer, and it just helps keep things a lot more organized. So now it looks a lot prettier, and it's functional as well. I hope you guys gained inspiration and motivation to organize your house as well. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these videos, and also I will have a playlist down below where you guys can find my decluttering series and how I came about decluttering my entire house. It was insane. Every room was insane. But anyway, yeah, I will have that down in the description box below for you guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Muchos besos. Mwah.